Hello and welcome to Module 4, where we will be discussing project management. The learner objectives for this module include describing the system lifecycle pertaining to an information system, explaining the steps in developing an implementation plan for a healthcare information system, and discussing interprofessional communication experiences and challenges. So there's a lot that goes into selecting a healthcare information system. There are lots of options out there, lots of vendors, lots of configurations, but there's a lot that has to be considered from an organizational standpoint and the characteristics of that organization. These may include things such as the size of the organization, the type, the complexity, and the unique cultural aspects of the organization. It's very important to consider the organization's strategic vision in regard to the system that's selected and how it's implemented. Also, it's important to consider the IT department, specifically the IT department and their strategic vision and plan. Now, in this module and in the reading assignments, you will hear terms such as project management, program management, and portfolio management. And those are discrete things. Your book and reading have defined those. Project management is usually a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result, where program management involves larger implementations, such as large-scale hospital document management applications or an organization-wide health record, electronic health record system. And then portfolio management involves the creation of common programs and projects that are not necessarily related, but they are important to combine and view as a whole. So again, your reading will help you further discern between these ideas, these concepts. We'll certainly be discussing the system lifecycle, again, as it pertains to an information system. So usually there's analysis that's done, and again, the consideration of the vision, the mission, the goals of the organization, then the design process, the actual implementation, the testing of it, how it evolves, and then you want to certainly reevaluate and analyze. Now, this is just one image that illustrates this cycle and the connections that exist between these phases. Keep in mind that each of these phases, there are processes and phases that occur within it as well. So there's lots of stuff going on and lots of people involved in all of this. You may see this illustrated in a different way, but typically these phases are very similar in nature when they're being described among those in information systems. You will also learn more about contract negotiations and software licensing. So healthcare organizations obviously depend on computer software for delivering healthcare services to the patients and their business operations. And in fact, years ago, these information systems in healthcare, their application in healthcare really started on the business side of things and keeping track of where patients were and the days in which they were in the facility. The term vendor refers to the licensor, the service provider, or other company that licenses or provides the software to the healthcare organization. And most healthcare organizations, when they sign on, they have a contract with a vendor. They become close with those people. Those people come in, they help with the implementation, they help with the maintenance of it, and they often train people within the organization to serve as super users or trainers when they go away. So the term, in this case, your reading further defines that the term healthcare organization means the healthcare organization itself, the leadership or the designated representatives on a team doing the contract negotiations. You will also learn more about the implementation and upgrade of a system. So there are a number of reasons for implementation or upgrading a healthcare system. Many times it's a policy of, in our country, we have federal regulations, policies that pertain to electronic healthcare records, HIPAA, any type of standards related to that. Certainly best practices and evidence-based content. And again, many of the systems that are available on the market today integrate information within the system that helps the providers, helps the clinicians, the nurses provide evidence-based care. Patient safety is another reason that you might need to upgrade a system, and then certainly improved quality of patient care. So you will learn more about that as well. Now, where we are geographically, Alabama, Southeast, we certainly have experienced disasters related to weather, different reasons, of course, but we're not. We're certainly familiar with the reasons why you would need to be prepared for disaster recovery, and then obviously you're going to have downtimes. Technology is not always foolproof, so. The primary objective for this type of planning is to protect the organization and the patients who are served by that organization, and certainly to minimize the disruption to the operations, to the care that's provided, or the care that's ongoing in one's treatment. So you will have specific information given to you about that too, and why it's relevant to providing care. As always, we faculty welcome your questions, your ideas, and if it's pertaining to the module, the content of the course, etc., just do not hesitate to reach out to your faculty for questions.